Today I'm thinking about how to transition into editing a level. So what I want to do is I want to like take the level that we have. So if we run this, we go into a level and then I just, okay, I want to edit this. I want to place blocks around or remove some blocks. So maybe I hit like E for edit or probably not escape. Maybe there's something on a controller I can do. Probably use the keyboard for this because I am thinking, well, for the rest of the game, I don't need the editor, like the mouse. For editing, the mouse would be really helpful. And then that would like switch me with the same level over to an editing, like an editing scene, which would still like build this level out, but maybe like a lot smaller so I can see the entire level on one screen. Something like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Then I can see like where we're gonna start, and then I can go back into play mode with this specific level. So that's what I'm thinking. Now, right now, I don't even have a I don't have a loader for like an editing scene. So I think that would be like the first part of this. So let's see. We have our loaders. Yeah, so let's add in a new loader here. And this is gonna be the edit scene. I don't know if I need anything stored in here. So for right now, we do have a trait for this, right? Yeah, we have a trait loader. Which does load. Okay, and then that returns all that stuff. Okay, so we have just a world context level manager. That's what's gonna be passed in. So right now we only have one level. So we're gonna be editing that. So basically it's gonna be very similar to the loader that we have right now. But the big difference is I don't want to like just directly take the size for each word, like for the unit size. I think in this case what we're gonna do is try to fit everything into one scene. Let's maybe start with some text that we put onto the screen. I think do insert into world, new. Let's just do a little bit of just text to make sure that we know that we're in loader mode or edit mode. Okay, so position of the text. Let's just put this at like, I don't know, 50. We'll just set the text. Text new, this is gonna be, I guess edit mode. Okay, and that will be everything. And then we want to insert you into the world. Oh, and then return. Okay. Can I just return that? Oh, I totally can. Okay, perfect. So then back to the main mod, and we're gonna have to store this. So we have the edit scene, edit scene. And then in update, oh, do I not even have the navigation scenes for this? I think I don't even have the navigation scenes for this. Right, because we have like title, level select. Like for example, if I were to switch this over to self.edit scene.load. It goes over to this edit mode. Okay, so perfect. Now I don't actually want to do that. I want to go over to play for this. But that means I need a new navigation screen. So we have play, it's gonna be edit level. All right, so input handler. When we get our handle inputs, this happens twice where the controller input, oh, and then stop. So I don't really care about the stop. That can just be added in there. There, that can be added in there. Let's see, for you, we're gonna add you in here. So this is what happens if we are in edit level mode and we get a controller input button. So right now, I'm gonna ignore this. Although maybe, oh, it's because I'm gonna do keyboard. So I think I'm gonna do like E for edit.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. The computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're gonna do is start over from the top.
But when we're in edit level mode, I think I can have like escape the exit, so it'd be like completely keyboard driven at that point in time. So we'll want a pub function handle keyboard put. I guess it would be the key code. Let's see. And it looks like what we'd be doing is creating the command and sending that command. That's all we'd be doing. So I don't actually need the world, it looks like. What are you being used for?
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I.
Oh, so this is level select, handle controller input. Oh, because I have a level select input handler. Right. Okay, so when I go into input mode, we're just going to send the command that we're going to navigate to. So I guess navigation. So match on navigation. Get the current screen. Here, when we're in play mode. Oh, this is new. I kind of like what they had before, where it was all sort of like empty. Okay, so in play. When we are in play, we want to create our command. Which is going to be a navigate to. Or is it just event navigate to? Oh, it's event navigating to. And then the navigation screen, edit level. So you're the event. Then we're going to do self dot event sender, send the event. Okay, so handle keyboard input. Now this is on any keyboard input whatsoever, so probably not what I want, but we could start there. Let's also, I guess, go ahead and debug what this key code is. Okay, so in loaders, that event, okay, so in navigating to, we clear the world. We can also merge match arms. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I don't know if I actually need that. Okay, so for edit level, what we're going to do is self dot edit scene dot load and pass in all these things, and then we're good to go. So does that work? At this point, any keyboard command, so if I do E, I would kind of need to call that function, don't I? Be helpful. So in the main library, we have a game button down event, game button up event, and this is going to be the key down event. So context, here's that key code, key mods. So I guess if we're holding shift or something. Oh, and if it's a repeat, could be interesting. Then self dot input handler dot handle keyboard input, pass in the key code, pass in mutable reference to self.navigation. Okay, let's try it again. So nothing happens here. We go into play mode. This takes us to edit mode. And we see key code was E. Oh, that's a capital E. Interesting. But that should work for our purposes. So now we see, okay, edit mode. I wonder if I do this text as like 00, if it's just going to be in the top left. I want to say that it will be. Okay, so for this, let's just make you 00. Now, yeah, right, because anything. So space. If I hit anything else, it doesn't happen because we're not in the right place. Edit mode, I'm gonna keep that over there. So that will just let me know I am in edit mode. That's gonna be fine. And so I want to now come back, let's say. So this is great, but in our input handler, for handle input, if we're in edit level, sure, let's debug the key code again. Does debug return? Prints and returns the value. Oh, so I could just do a reference, or I could like shadow it back into itself, like key code equals key code, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so if we do this, then we want to create our event. Navigating to navigation screens. We're going to go back to play. And so if, I guess it would be an if let key code P is equal to event, no, key code, then self dot event sender send our event. All right, so from here, I can go to edit mode and I can go back to play mode. And it resets the level too, which I think is fine. But that's pretty awesome. And we can see all of these things that we're printing out. Okay, everything I was doing. Oh, even when I'm switching away, it left Alt. Interesting, for like Alt F4. But it didn't get the F4. That's interesting. It died before then. Okay, so we are navigating over there. So now that we're in edit mode, I want to draw, I think I want to draw the grid of what we're going to be displaying. And how do I want to actually like load that up? I'm guessing we're going to actually want to put elements on the screen, like lines for that. What I want to be able to do is move my mouse around and click to place the platforms in the right cell. So I was thinking like visualize the cells. So if we're in edit mode, then I want to draw that grid out. So how would I do that, and how would I like add those in? Probably some kind of like events that we're gonna send when we like click. Right now, if I want to just draw the grid, or even just draw the level, but probably like really small. We'd probably want some kind of draw system that's listening to the, like what scene we're in. So it can be paying attention to the navigation events. And when we're in edit mode, it draws the grid for us. I think that makes sense, because the grid can be just a single draw, whereas the other ones can't be. And in fact, everything can be a single draw here, because I'm gonna see if I can like just zoom everything out. So let's see if that makes sense. If I make if I make something that let's see, a draw system that draws like the edit level. Draw editing level. So in this case, in order to know if it should be drawing or not, it needs to be listening to the events. So we're gonna need an event listener at the most. So event receiver. Which means we're going to have the event manager. Don't know if I need a result. I think I could just do self. So we're going to subscribe. we're gonna subscribe to let's see, event. Okay, so we have event. Navigate to navigation. So in this case, I guess I don't really care. Level, edit level, and then we string this. That gives us a receiver, and we're going to return itself. Okay, so this gives us that. Then we're able to call this to create new. So let's go back and do that. This is going to be the draw editing level. And hand it that event manager. Okay, so then we're going to have a run for this. Okay. Now we know we're going to take in the world because we're going to load up that level. And then we're going to draw in like the level as it, like the level that we have in that. I guess we're going to draw the level that we have in the document, in the struct. Now, is that not going to be in the world? I guess it might not be. Because here we're just going based on the level itself. So if I have mutable self so that I can get the event receiver if we're in edit level mode. So we also want to store in like is editing. It's a Boolean. So we're gonna want, see, I can receive the events. I'm probably gonna want like the level in there. Let's ignore that for right now. Let's just return a result. And the first thing we're gonna do is update if we're editing or not. That could be down here. So update is editing. Okay, so if let okay, and this is going to be like the event. Specifically, we want the event navigating to. I'll just hold on until I get it. Okay, so if let okay event equals self dot event receiver. I'm gonna try direct v. Okay, that gives us this event. So if float okay, event navigating to navigation screens. And you know, I might want to match on this. Actually don't know how I could match on this specifically. Because if I'm doing edit level, I also want to like, is editing false when we move away from edit level? And where would I put my match? It would be yeah, I don't know where I would put my match. So let's actually just grab this event here. Then we can match on the event. So these ones we don't care about. So we're not going to do anything about those events. For navigating to, if you are, it's also down here. Make you happier. Okay, so if we're navigating to, we're gonna get a navigation screens. Oh, because okay, we can have navigation screens edit level. So if this is where we're going to, then self dot is editing equals true. Otherwise, event navigating to navigation screens play is going to be self dot is editing. It's false. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is self dot update is editing. Once we've updated, if we're editing, we can check to see if not self dot is editing, then we want to exit early. So we're returning early because there's nothing for us to do. We're not editing. Which means we could now set this to run. Do you want to draw anything to the screen? I could draw something to the screen, which would mean we need context. So we could just draw some random, like a random circle to the screen. We're probably gonna want the level 2. Let's just draw some random like circle to the screen. So we can do a graphics draw. Let's do like 150.0 by 150.0. Radius, let's do like 15. 1. And we could just use white. And then, okay, so for this graphics, we draw. We give a reference to the mesh and draw params. Oh, I need to actually do like fill. There we go. So now I can run this. You need to be mutable here. Okay. That's fine. And there's our circle. So this is now drawing from that draw system. So that's perfect. Then what I need next is the level itself. So if the level is passed in, we can start updating that level, like mutating the level. Now we can either mutate the level, or we could just send events for like where to mutate the level. Which I guess we want like an update. Like we want an edit system also for like to send those updates, because draw should just really be drawing the editing level that we're doing. So like before we actually get into like real editing, let's display this out. So we need the level in here. So let's figure out what that looks like. So in run, we're gonna take in the level, which is just gonna be a reference to a level. I don't need to draw, like create this mesh anymore. What I'm thinking of doing is creating a grid that corresponds to like where all the parts are in the level. So let's do it from the top. So we know the number of items in the grid. So we need to create lines. Lines going down. Right, yes. So we're gonna have like a line start. It's gonna be at 0. And I have the line that goes across the screen for at every spot. So how do we know where that is? We have the we're gonna need the drop, like the how much screen real estate we have. So let the screen size equals it's not the drawable size, we learned that. It's the screen coordinates. Okay. That gives us this rect here. We can use this rect to determine like how much room we have. Now our level, we're just sort of like doing default, so we have just a default level, like one level in this game. And right now we have a height of 15 units, but each unit is 70 pixels high. I want to ignore this unit height and create our own one based upon here to make sure it all fits onto the screen. And we want these to be squares. So does that even make sense, or do I not care about this? No, I think I care about them being squares because our images are squares, like, so representing what is going to be built. Either that, or I don't actually use the real images for representing this. But I think it would look really weird if I didn't make them squares. So I have a non-square screen. So this is going to be interesting because we're at 1920 by 1080. I wonder if I want to like force it to be a square. That seems weird. If we're going 100 across, so if we're 1920, let's see. Okay, so if I want to do, we're 1080 down, and I can divide by 15, and we're gonna get 70. It would be 72 pixels downwards. Okay. This is kind of like the idea of what I'm having for this, like, this editing is creating a grid, something like this. So downwards, we determine we want, if we are having 15 of these, we would have every 72 pixels on the down. But on the width, let's say we have 100 of them, so it's not exactly even. 100 divided by 1920 would be every, no, wrong way around. 1920 divided by 100, every 19.2 pixels I could have one over here. The problem obviously being that these are not the same, so therefore it's going to be very like long down and thin wide. But what if I just took the smallest number of these and that's what I made the box? Then it would fit in. Now it won't fill the entire screen down. So maybe I'll just start from the top and then just go from there, whichever one is longer. So we want to calculate the height in pixels. So this is going to be our calculate cell size. We're going to take in a level. I suppose we can also take in this context, because that's what this is going to give us there. And we're going to return an F32. Okay, so first thing, we get these screen coordinates. Then we get like the initial width. So width on, it's like the width would be our so width would be level dot oh, okay, so this is going to be our screen coordinates dot w divided by level dot width height equals screen coordinates dot height divided by level dot height. Each of these, see, what are you? You're F32s, so these need to be F32s. Then we would need to take the smaller one. So if width is greater than height, we're going to return the height, else return the width. And maybe it would make more sense if width is less than height, return the width. Otherwise, return the height. So then we can get the cell size. Pass in a level, pass into context. That gives us an F32. Okay, so that's going to be our cell size. And I'm guessing just from the top left corner, because one of these is filling up the screen from top to bottom or from left to right. So we're going to count for each of these widths and heights and create a line. So we're going to create a mesh. I guess let's do top to bottom first. Or maybe horizontal. Yeah, let's do horizontal first, sort of see what this feels like. So for 0 through level dot width, you're not mutable. No, you are public. Okay, why can't I see you? Level's a level. Okay, so for 0 to level dot width. Oh, yeah. I don't know why. I've been like screwing up for loops recently. For like our count in. There we go. That makes you happier. Because you're actually the right syntax. Okay. It's early morning, I guess. Or too many languages. Okay, so we have this count. This is the width. So we're going down with these. So I need to create these lines starting at 0 and then adding the cell size for each of them. So we're gonna do our mesh builder. I want to add in a line, and then we're gonna have the points. Let's go until the height, like the, guess we should create like the line height. Okay, so in this case, we want the line height to be the number of these times the cell size. And so that's going to be our height times the cell size. So level dot height as F32 times cell size. Okay, so for the point, we're gonna start with X is 0, and then x is like whatever plus the cell size, then x is plus with the cell size. So that's gonna be count times the cell size. And this is gonna be start y, or start x, and start y. Start y is just gonna be zeros all the way around. So this should be pretty simple. We have points is an array of arrays. So we have start x and start y. Now we need another array for the end. So end x. End x is actually going to be the same as start x. So start x. End y is going to be the line height. So start y plus line height. Let's try making this 1.0, because that will make the math a lot easier. If it's like bigger, then it might be harder, but I'm worried that it won't be easy to see. Let's also make this white. Hey everyone, sorry about that. I have a little bit of an emergency that I have to help out, so I'm gonna head off really quickly. I really wanted to be able to get this fixed up, but unfortunately, this is a pretty high priority. So super sorry about that. I'm gonna do an emergency stream shutdown. I will be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to continue working on this. So everybody, I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.